Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises, and to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, and a few good laughs. And I'm Motormouth Jenkins, and we're going to shift into drive right here on the Saturday Motormouth Morning Drive Q&A. It's Q&A. So thank you to all those who sent their emails in Friday before noon. It's now Saturday morning, and the sun is already shining. It looks like it's going to be an absolutely outstanding day. We hope. Possibly think. Could things change? Well, we're going to have that for you. We're going to have Car Connection weekend weather coming up in just a few moments. We'll have our morning swiggy. If you're just joining us for the first time, here's how it happens here on Saturdays. It gets a little crazy, but we got it under control. We have whatever your favorite morning beverage is. If you're just spinning through the drive-thru, it is weekend. It is officially kickoff to summer, our first official summer-long weekend. Check your order. Double, flubdipple, quadruple check it before you leave the drive-thru and lock that beverage down so you don't pull away and it spills over. If you have a co-pilot, you're going to need 16 pack of Crayola crayons. Get those out of the armrest in your car and hand those over. Get the leaf bag you got tucked down between the seat and say, you busy? I didn't think so. You're going to take some notes this morning. So if you can't take notes because you're driving on your own, you can listen and re-listen anytime on the homepage of our website. That's where everything that we talk about lives, on our homepage of our website. It is the biggest drawer we have in our toolbox. So if you haven't visited our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, maybe your first time to iHeartRadio, we are on all the podcast platforms, wherever you're pulling down live streaming from. Just type in the Car Connection Workshop and you will find us. We're on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Podbean, and the like. So you'll find us there. All our podcasts, as soon as they're produced, scheduled, and they light them up on our RSS feed over to iHeart, they also land in our YouTube channel, which is Niall Motormouth Jenkins. But there's a link. All those links are on the homepage of our website. So it's point, click, you're there, just like that. But if you want to look us up, you can find us very, very easily on YouTube. We have almost 400 pieces of information there for you to dive into. So whether you know a little bit about cars or absolutely nothing, or you want to keep that older vehicle running longer, keep that motor and transmission hauling you down the road for 1,000,000 miles, you hit the right channel, because I know exactly how to get that done. I'm halfway myself with our '07 Toyota FJ Cruiser. If you haven't been watching the series on that, a mini series that started along with a spring evaluation. So we've had all the vehicles in that we use round the clock all year long. The FJ Cruiser is the last one in. The 99 Honda Civic DX hatchback, 2-door, 5-speed with air as cold as penguins coming out of the dash. That just has some cosmetic work to do, but the spring evaluation's done, and you can see that as well on our YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel is all about 5 things. That's what I focus on. Every video is focused on teaching you what the component is, where it is, how it works, and how it breaks, and how you could learn some stuff. No excuses. Size, mileage, color, width, height, foot size, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. because the basics never change from one automobile to another. What changes is the technology. But the concept of each component never changes. It's always the same. So if you can learn some of the basic fundamentals about how to take care of your vehicle, you're already ahead of the next guy in preventing yourself from being taken advantage of at an automotive service center. And it happens all the time. And to the ladies and to the fellas that don't know a lot about their automobile, it's very easy to be taken. So 44 years experience. I am a fully licensed automotive service technician in light truck passenger vehicles as well as the big stuff. Worked for Mack Trucks Canada, Peterbilt of Ontario, and farm equipment. So I got a lot of experience that I'm here and been carving out this lane for a long time. We've just come off of radio in November. So if you're listening for the first time, I'm just giving a quick lowdown. 31 years on radio with ESPN and a local Buffalo network that's 110,000 watts. So we were reaching a lot of people. We were there for 24 and a half years, 12 and a half years on ESPN. We had one of the top programs on Saturdays from noon till 1. And thank you to my producer there who was amazing, Matt, my brother from another mother. We had a lot of fun there and was like family. Everybody getting along to help you to grow your listenership. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot at that network, a lot. And thankful, here we are on digital, which is new to us. But we've been working our butts off, Skippy and I, my videographer, putting down some really good fundamentals for you. So as I mentioned, we're almost ready to hit season 3 on our podcast. We do 6 podcasts a week. The Motormouth Morning Drive at 8 a.m. And then during the week, we're shooting videos. We have a number of videos now in the library. We have a new series coming up very shortly. You'll be able to see the wrap-up on the 2007 FJ Cruiser, how to diagnose a parasitic draw. If you don't know what that is, you'll quickly learn that. Even if, like I said, if you don't know any of the basics, our YouTube channel will bring you right up to speed. Start at the beginning and just keep watching the videos, because we don't build race cars or custom hot rods or monster trucks. We're doing basic maintenance on all different types of vehicles, from brakes to fluids to filters to front end suspension, and you name it. We get into it all. We get into all of it. In fact, the series that I'm going back right now and creating that entire series to be evergreen, so it will stay on the internet forever, was the 1997 Jeep TJ Wrangler Rescue. Rescued it from the crusher at the wrecking yard, and it's sitting in the staging lanes right now to go up to the custom fab shop to have a new bracket welded on the front axle for the control arm, because it's so badly buckled from whoever had it hit something or put a chain around it. We don't know. But anyways, I tried to straighten it, couldn't straighten it, and I found them online, so it's just as easy to just blast that off and weld a new one on, and then we're ready for some easy peasy custom exhaust. So those are the 2 things that are waiting next. Once that's done, I'll strip out the interior, do the repair work on the floor, and close that up tight and right, and then it's ready to hit the road. So that's a whole series. We took that vehicle from nothing and turned it into something, and at the end of the day, when the numbers come in and what it costs to put that vehicle back out on the road, it's going to blow your mind. Absolutely. In fact, it's just outside the bay door right now, and you can hop right in it, turn the key, and it fires right up. And away you go. But can't go out on the road with that front suspension link is not correct. So it's hammering around a bit in there. It's locked in position with a bolt, but it's a hunka-chunka, if you know what I mean. So that's the whole gist about our YouTube channel, is to teach you all the basics so that you can prevent yourself from getting ripped off out there. Because it's happening. And it's happening North America wide. So it's better to know something and learn some of the basics than leave yourself wide open. Not good. All right, so let's jump into our Saturday morning. We're going to have our swiggy right away. We're going to thank Earl and Louise Grant at City Auto Sales and Leasing. You or someone you know is in the market for a quality pre-owned automobile. Even if it takes you 2 hours and 2 days and 30 seconds to get there, it's worth it, because that's the second largest purchase you're going to make next to a home or property. It's nice to know that the people that are working with you are not working you over. They're working with you. And that's Earl and Louise Grant, husband and wife team. They've been doing what they're doing for almost 25 years, selling low mileage, top quality vehicles at fair prices. Greater Toronto area's premier pre-owned auto store. Contact Earl and Louise today. Let them know what vehicle you're looking for if you don't see it on their inventory. So all our program partners and our recommended businesses, as we continue to rebuild our Car Connection business network, referral businesses in and around our area. We will be looking at some businesses out of town at some point, because these podcasts go all around the world. Where do you live? Who do you know? Who can we connect with us? That would be fantastic to have like 1,000 businesses North America wide and around the world in our Car Connection business network. We're almost wherever you are, there's a referral business. That's my goal at this point, is that rebuilding the Car Connection business network has no boundaries anymore. None. With radio, you're stuck in these stupid circles, and whatever listenership's in there, that's it. You're in a cage. But going digital, we're around the world. We're global. Anybody can tune in from anywhere. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Kick us an email at motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com, or put some information in the comments section on our YouTube videos. And remember, it's so important that you like, share, and most of all, subscribe and leave a comment on our YouTube videos. That helps Skippy and I to grow the channel. And we are working hard. I'll tell you, we're working about 80 hours a week dedicated to you, the car owner. Not to the person who drives their vehicle into the ground every so many years and then it gets pushed, pulled, and dragged into the nearest wrecking yard. We're not here for them. We're here for you that wants to save money and a few bloody knuckles at the same time. We're here for you. So if you want to keep an older vehicle, you know what? We're going to be talking about that today, as a matter of fact. Does it cost more to keep and upkeep an older vehicle versus a new one? And when I say new, I'm going to say out of warranty, just. So once you hit that 3-year mark, it's now all you. So guess what it is? The car becomes at that point an older vehicle. Hello? It's 3 years, 60,000 K for most manufacturers. So at 60,001 mile or kilometer, whatever comes first, or 3 years, it's now a 3-year older vehicle. You're outside of warranty. So now you're an older vehicle that you own. Every problem, every challenge, every issue, all the maintenance is on you. So we're going to be covering that today, because that happens to be one of the questions I received from emails this past week. So be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow our online community, ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next rescue project, maintenance tips, and real-world car ownership advice. It's all there for you to grab for free. So I'm going to speak up for all the online influencers on YouTube. If you love their channel and you love their content, they don't send you a bill, right? They don't. They're giving their knowledge from their hearts and giving it away for free. So the least we could ask for is support them by like, share, follow, subscribe, ring the notification bell. None of that costs you anything but your time. And they're putting in the time to create the content for you, to either, if it's funny content, if it's learning content. Most of the time it's learning. You're learning something. I learned today how to very easily make your gasoline ethanol free. I didn't know how to do it. And it's so freaking simple. Skippy and I will put together a video in the Car Connection Workshop to show you how to do it. It's that simple, because ethanol is not a good thing to have in your vehicle's fuel system. It is absolutely evil. We'll talk about that very shortly. With summer kicking off and you've got all your lawn and garden equipment, gas powered, this and that and the other thing you use around the yard to keep it looking sharp and neat and tidy, you need to know about the ethanol and small engines. They do not like it. They don't like it at all. So we will show you in a video how to do that so that you can do it yourself. And just, if you're just using a gallon at a time, you can separate out the ethanol and wait till you see how easy and simple it is. You got the things pretty much around your home that you can do that with. If you need something, we'll put that all in the description and let you know where you can find that, easy peasy, so that you can get the ethanol out of your fuel, because it's important. That stuff is not good. It's good for the cash croppers growing corn, but it is not good in the automotive internal combustion engine world. It is not. And small engines, like your lawn and garden stuff, do not like it at all. And I cut a lot of firewood, and let me tell you, my chainsaw crew is my baby. And I look after them very, very much, and to the T. After every day of use, I tear them down, clean them, service them, and I sharpen on site. When it runs out of gas, I check the chain, I clean it out, and sharpen, touch up the chain, and away we go. Because they're expensive. All that stuff's expensive. Weed whackers, hedge trimmers, those little, I call them the praying mantis, rototillers. Perfect for someone who's older and you want to till your flower beds. Those little rototillers are amazing. They're absolutely amazing, the amount of work you can get done in a short period of time. So we're going to do a program, and I'll teach you how to look after those things. And you know what? You won't be replacing them all the time, because you don't have to. It's just like your car. You don't need to replace it all the time. We're going to teach you how to do that. So let's kick off the morning. Let's have our morning swiggy. Grab it. 3, 2, 1. We have a swiggy, and then we're going to get into our weekend weather report. So hang in there. We're going to get rolling. We got a short time to get there and a lot of information to get through. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was so good. Do you mind if you don't, do you? Let's have another one. 3, 2, 1. That is the high octane boost right there, let me tell you. All right, weekend weather brought to us by our friends at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, building Canada since 1931. Kathy and David and Dan Grimo, they are there for you to guide you every step to get the products that you need to get that building project going, or that hardscape landscape that you have always wanted to have. They have contractors as well that they can refer you to. If you need a contractor, just speak to Kathy Grimo. She's got a list of contractors that'd be more than happy to come out, take a look at what you want to create, put together an estimate, start the work and finish the work, and do it right. Tight and right. They have all the materials you'll need to create that beautiful English walkway, or those weed-free garden beds, putting the pebbles in there, or the angel stone, whatever it is that you want to create that outdoor space, whether it's living space or a patio, they have it. They have pavers. Some might know them as patio stones. I call them pavers. They have them in different sizes. They have interlocking brick. They have it all. They have all the block you can think of that you would need to create a block building or create a structure. They have all of that there, including the metal that you may need as well. So that is Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, all in a nutshell. So connect with them and let them know that Car Connection sent you. So thank you, Dave, Kathy, and Dan Grimo, for making this morning's weekend weather available to all of us here in the Motormouth morning drive. Saturday's low is going to be 50 degrees between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. I was sleeping. I think I would be sleeping at that time. So I'm not going to check on that. The high will be 73 degrees between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Today, the temperature range will feel like 42 to 68. The wind will make it feel cooler than the actual temperature. Possibility of precipitation here in the Niagara region and the South Shores of Lake Erie. I'm not sure where you are, but let us know where you are. Shoot us an email. Drop us a line in the comments on our YouTube channel. We got like 0.05 of an inch possibility of RAIN, the wet stuff. And let's take a look and see what we have for Sunday. Sunday coming being tomorrow. We have Sunday's low will be 55 between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and the high will be 74 degrees between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. The temperature range will feel like 52 to 76 and it will feel warmer than the actual temperature. Yippee-ki-yay, I say to that, because I've been wanting to run the 30-day fuel savings challenge. So if you're interested in putting a minimum of $100 a month back in your pocket, I can show you and teach you how and be your coach all at the same time. So if you have multiple vehicles in the family and you get your heads together and go, we're going to do the Motormouth 30-day fuel savings challenge. And if you step into part 2, which is another 30 days, there's a possibility you could double that. Going to get a $2,400 raise this year, or how about $1,200 raise? Anybody? Going to get the tap on the shoulder and say, we've noticed you are an amazing team player. And because of that, we've given you a $1,200 raise. I don't see any hands. I just hear crickets. Yeah. Okay, we'll pull over and park and leave that right there. All right, we got 3 amazing questions to get through this morning. Saturday's Q&A. Stephen writes in and he says, he's our question number 1. He writes in and he's got a great question. Listen up. My service light has been on for months. How many of you have experienced this? And then usually what we see is a piece of electrical tape, hockey tape, duct tape, your favorite mother-in-law, a picture of your dead hamster from 1975, some kind of pet, a creature, a business card, even a stamp. Yeah. An Elvis stamp from who knows when over the service light. Those are just a few of the classics we generally see. So Motormouth, that's the question 2. My bifocals playing tricks on me. My service light has been on for months. Car seems to run fine. Should I be concerned? I'm going to go with yes times yes plus yes divided by yes equals... Yep, you guessed it, yes. Because here's the deal. Even though seems to be running fine, the computer could be masking the problem. That's the problem with today's vehicles is the computer makes adjustments on the fly. So it can hide problems until it can't. And the problem is if the light is already on and it needs to come on again to flag something else that's going on, because what we have to remember is there's cause and then there's influence by the cause. So there's this happened and then that happened and then that happened. It's called cause and effect. That's what generally happens. A $200 job can very quickly turn into a $5,000 repair. But if the service light is on, here's the problem. The computer can't turn it on again, right? It's already on. So if you're in a room and you turned the light on, can you turn the light on light and give you more light? I guess you could if it's a dimmer switch or rheostat of some kind. But if the light is on in the room, can you turn it on again if it's already on? You could turn on another light, but your car only has one service light. So if you're in a room at home and it only has one light, can you turn it on again if it's already on? No. So that's where I'm going with this. Is if the service light's on and there's cause and effect going on, the computer's trying to hide and mask the problem as quick as it can until it can't. That's when things get worse. And that's why I say we've seen over the years many times a $200 issue turning into thousands of dollars of repair because you ignored it, and the computer's now been making changes till it can't, and now there's cause and effect. Cause and effect. And we see that a lot. So here's the thing. Let's go back to the reason why we're covering it up, because that's generally where the problem starts. You're covering it up because in your mind's eye, you're saying this light is going to cost me an arm and a leg and a second mortgage on my property. Not necessarily, folks. That is listening to the talking heads. And if you're dealing with a service tech that sucks at diagnostics, no disrespect to them, but you know what? If you want to learn, guys, how to diagnose, you're going to have to take some extra time to learn. That means getting in a classroom at night, which is what I did. I spent my life in night school at Mohawk College and with after-school programs that I paid for out of my pocket as an apprentice. Anytime I could get my butt in a program before I was even licensed, I would beg the teachers to get me in. And because they were licensed techs, they would sign me in under their name. And the, what do they call him? The chancellor would say, hey, if he wants to learn that bad and he's going to pay, get him in. So I was blessed to have teachers that would come to the table and get me into those classes. And at that time, some of them that I took were like $250, and that was most of my rent money. But I would do a few jobs on the side to cover my extra class time. But that's where you become, as a tech, you become more of an asset to your peeps, your clients, than a liability. So when that light comes on, if your guy is not good at diagnostics, I'd be afraid too, because if he can't diagnose it pretty much in an hour, then he's going to get the parts cannon out and start firing parts all over your car till he can get the light to go out and stay out. Because that's where the four things comes in. Concern, cause, correction, confirmation. That's what was drilled into us at Volkswagen School as management and working at the service desk. Was we had to make sure we had the 4 C's on every work order if it was warranty or not. That was part of the CSI score, Customer Satisfaction Index, making sure the customers have thorough work orders, service orders, repair orders, whatever you want to call the darn thing. The paperwork is complete. So that's where the problem starts. As the light comes on, you internally panic that this thing's going to cost you thousands of dollars because the service light's on. It's only going to cost you that if, like I said, and I'm going to say it one more time, if the service tech you're relying on to diagnose it doesn't diagnose very well. He very quickly gets out the parts cannon and starts spending your bank account. You know, in this trade right now, we can teach monkeys to change all kinds of parts. But when it comes to diagnostic work, you got to have the light switch fully on as a service tech, know how to use your equipment to get down to business, to get it diagnosed for the customer the first time. Sometimes you get those troubled vehicles that are a major headache with intermittent issues. But if that service light's on, it's not just get your little cutesy wootsy $69 off the Jungle website handheld scan tool and dump the code. because it's going to come back pretty much. And then the neighbor says you need a gas cap and an oxygen sensor. And you listen to them, and then you throw some parts on yourself and go, I got this. And then your other neighbor says, oh, I'll shut the service light off for you. And then the next day on the way to work, it's back on. Don't get caught in that I call that the abyss. The abyss. It's not how you do it. Go to our YouTube channel. Watch me show you how I diagnose an oxygen sensor with a decent OTC scan tool that gives me enough information that I can quickly jump into something and diag it. And then I will do pinpoint testing just to verify my findings one more time. So I've got two methods. One, I'm watching the live information on the screen of my scan tool. And I'm also then going to go to the item that I think is the subject, or I call it now the prospect. Everything points to the specific component I'm looking at on my live screen data and go, okay, there's an anomaly there. The readings aren't correct. But if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see me diagnose why the service light is on a 2009 Hyundai Accent and how I'm determining the causal component right from my scan tool. So just by plugging in, and I just saw another advertisement on the YouTubes for a handheld scan tool. That's great that you can go in and shut off the fault codes, but that's not telling you anything. And the 99.9% the light's coming back on. Sometimes when I look at the reading, I might say, you know what? The live data is showing there's nothing sticking out to me that says we need to check this component. Then I will record the information on my scan tool and save it, and then I'll clear the fault codes out, and then I'll let you drive it for a week. And let me know when the light comes on, and then I'll get you to scoot by, and then I'm going to hook up, and then I'm going to do another reading, and then I'm going to go through live data and take a closer, hard look at the input-output signals of all the monitored systems. So don't be afraid when the light comes on. Please don't panic. Don't think the car's going to blow up. You're watching way too much Netflix. The car is not going to blow up. It is not going to start on fire. The wheels aren't going to fall off, and the doors blow off the side, and the sunroof flies off. None of that's going to happen. Trust me. I haven't seen it yet in 44 years. Just so I hope I smooth that emotional stuff out. Because when emotions are high, the knowledge is low. You can't think straight. So don't let it give you anxiety. Service light comes on, you just got to get to your tech. Let them do a preliminary quick check with the scan tool to get a bird's eye view what possibly could be going on. And then we move forward, get you booked in, and she'll be able to diagnose pretty much any service light within about an hour. So again, if you haven't listened to the podcast that I did on service repair orders and diagnostics, I go into deep detail on how to make sure that you don't leave the gate open and let all the cows out on the farm. That means you're giving the service technician a wide open work order to go 4 hours, 3 hours on diagnostic time, and then just about put you in cardiac arrest when he phones and says, yeah, your bill's $800 when you're expecting a couple of $100. You got to listen to that podcast. So go into the podcast and find it. Absolutely. And I do believe I covered that on a YouTube video quite a while ago, because we have, like I said, we have like almost 400 pieces of information there for you. And don't miss the description boxes on either my podcast or the YouTube channel. I put a lot of nuggets in that description that are take-home pieces of information for you. And the YouTube channel and the podcast channel are totally separate. It's not a mirror image. What I'm doing on YouTube, I'm doing on podcast. What I'm doing on podcast, I'm doing on YouTube. No. I don't need to waste my time doing the same thing twice. So you have lots of different ways now with Car Connection. We now have a lot more ways for you to watch, listen, and engage with us. So come and join us anytime. Let's get in deeper with this service light. So the problem is you got to get over the emotional, because that will hold you back. And if the service light is on, computer can't flag the system a second time if there is cause and effect. So something else is going on with the first warning light, right? So it can't put the light on several times. It's on and it's staying on and it's solid. So we need to go in, do a preliminary scan, see what data we can collect, and then work on it and verify the causal component. And then we're going to do some pinpoint testing to verify that the component we suspect to be the problem is the problem. And it's like some people. You have to say, are you the problem? Are you part of the problem? Or are you the whole problem? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I used to have some friends like that. I just have to say, can you be positive? Can you be any more negative? Do you have anything positive to say? Probably not. Yeah. All right. So, Stephen, let's get that baby scanned. Let's do a preliminary scan. Let's get that, whatever you've got covering the service light on the dash because it's annoying you. Let's get that uncovered so that the vehicle can continue to communicate with you, and let's get it diagnosed. And I always recommend this. You give the tech, and make sure it's on the work order. You give him 1 hour of diag time. And make sure he writes it on there. Customers authorizing 1 hour of diagnostic time with a follow-up. And then listen to what they're telling you. And if it sounds like a story, then you're in the wrong place. Should be able to tell you exactly what's going on, or at least what direction they need a little more time to get into. So that's where I would let them have 30 minutes more. 30 minutes and another follow-up. This is how you prevent 5.5, 6 hours of diag time and a half an hour to fix it. If you leave the gate open on the farm, all the cows get out. That's what I'm saying. Don't leave the gate open. Don't give them a blank check. Make them work for it. And they should be able to work for it. So coming up this week will be shooting a video on how to diagnose quickly a parasitic draw. What does that mean? You're going to have to watch the video to find out. Ever have a battery in a vehicle just on a regular basis? You go out to the vehicle and it's dead. And you're like, what? What's going on? Like, who left the fridge door open? Right? Have you ever had that happen? Well, I'm going to shoot a video on that on the 2007 FJ Cruiser, because what I suspected happened to me in the woodlot last year on the farm, my friend Charlie's farm. He had to bring the big JD green beast to come and boost me in the middle of the field, and the car was dead. And there were no interior lights on, no door. Well, yeah, the back door was open, but no interior lights on. The battery was flatter than a pancake. And it did that to me since it's been in the shop here, having its spring evaluation and getting a lot of updates done before they turn into problems. So the $200 repair before it turns into the $1,000 repair. And you can watch those videos. So that's what I'm going to teach you is what do we do? How do we do it to get down to where's the problem? Why is the battery going dead? Once in a while, all of a sudden I have a dead battery. We're going to show you how to diagnose that in under a half an hour. Okay, next. What are we on next? So, Stephen, way to go, buddy. But get that taken care of. And if you need a referral, get in touch with me. We can give you a referral, hopefully in your area, wherever you're from, and get someone on that for you. Rachel has a great question. Question number 2. Motormouth, I heard you mention it's cheaper to maintain an older car. Please explain. Thank you. Well, that's nice. I explain you something, Lucy. I will, I promise you. That's a great question. Because I hear that, in fact, experienced that just recently. Here's the thing. Let's start from the top. And then we're going to unpack this thing. As long as you have a vehicle that's solid, that means it's not rusted out. You can climb in from the outside without opening the doors. That would mean the vehicle has a lot of weight loss. That's not a good foundation. A firm foundation is the vehicle aesthetically is in great shape. The structure is not rotted out. So in other words, we don't have a Flintstone mobile with holes in the floor. We don't have frame components rotting out. The vehicle's in great shape underneath. You have a winner right there. You've got the foundation you need. The engine's not leaking more fluids than it has. The vehicle's shifting fine, and everything seems to be working as usual. You've got a great foundation. Okay, on the other side of the scale, we're going to call that vehicle 10 years old, okay? It's 10 years old. It's got some mileage. I don't care how much. Doesn't mean anything to me. Pull the odometer right out. It's like my mentor Bill used to say, Willie Whooper, he would say, Motormouth, if you didn't know when you were born, would you know how old you are? And I go, is this a quiz? Will you take me out for ice cream if I get it right? Okay. So the answer is no, you wouldn't know how old you were. So if you didn't have an odometer in your vehicle, would you know how old that vehicle was mileage-wise? No. And who cares? I don't. Doesn't bother me at all. And why is that? Because if you're doing that maintenance, like I talk about all the time, yeah, I probably annoy you with it, and it should. Because if you're not following our car connection fleet maintenance schedule, then follow something. Follow something. Find something you can follow along and treat that vehicle like it were a bulldozer. And you might be laughing. That's okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. If we had a bulldozer, all of us, I talked about this earlier this week. If our vehicle was a bulldozer and that bulldozer had to work, you had to get on it and take it to the job site and work it to earn a paycheck to eat, how important would that bulldozer be to you to make sure that you take sweet, loving care of that bulldozer? Would you ignore it? Would you not service it? Would you not check anything on it and just take a chance? You trailer that thing out to the job site and you can't even get it off the trailer. So now you lose the job because the contractor goes, well, I'm sorry about your bulldozer, but we need to get the work accomplished. I've called somebody else. So how important would that bulldozer be to you? You'd probably park it inside, keep it covered up, take good care of it, wash it, service it to the nines. Because if you don't work it, you don't get paid. You don't eat. That's the way you have to look at your older automobile. It's older, but who cares what mileage is on it if you're taking care of it? You know, there's a lot of aircraft, and I love to use this as an example. There's a lot of people flying aircraft in the skies above our heads from the 50s. Yeah, early 50s. And they're still in the sky. How is that possible? Should they all be buying brand new planes to fly? I can't answer that question. Brand new planes probably going to be a whole lot of big buckolas, don't you think? So why do they buy refurbished like 1976 Pipers or a Cessna or a Cherokee? I think the Cherokee's like from the 50s. I saw one a couple of years back in a hangar in Toronto. They were refurbishing older airplanes and restoring them, bringing them back to 100% maintenance so that they go back to someone else, buys that, and that's their plane. So wouldn't you say like a 1950 something Cherokee is an old plane? Well, to someone who's looking to own their own plane, they got to look at the older ones, but they will be serviced and come totally aeronautically certified. So what's the difference between a 10-year-old car then? At least you're on the ground if something goes wrong. That's the first thing that I think of. At least you're on the ground level should something go wrong. But as long as it's maintained, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the mileage is on there. Take care of the brakes, the tires, the fluids, the belts, the hoses. Take care of all that stuff. Then mileage doesn't matter. Okay, now let's say a 3-year-old vehicle. Here's what I know about it. Now you own it outright. That means you got no partnership on it. It's 3 years old. There's no warranty. That's an older car now, isn't it? Or are you still calling that a new car? Because it's not. It's an older car. It's 3 years old. Maybe it's 5 years old. And you're still paying for it. It's got to be maintained. And who has to do that? You do. The factory's not sending you a check. They're not sending you a bucket of parts. Nothing. It's yours. You got to look after it. But I'll tell you this, the older vehicles, 2016, 17, 18, that's how far I'd go back. I'd go back even further. 07, 08, 09 are far better made today than the stuff they're putting out today. Far better made then than now. More reliable from then than now. And a ton less plastic on it back then than now. Paying a lot of money for plastic, folks. Bad news. That's how you lose the car game. So owning and operating an older automobile, so someone recently said to me, well, that's easy for you to say, Motormouth, because you're a mechanic. Oh, so that makes all the problems go away? So like who do I call just to get a bucket of parts? They're just going to send them over? Or do you think I got to pay for them? And I'll tell you what, with regular maintenance and twice a year an evaluation, you can catch anything that's about to go wrong and bring it up to a better level. So in other words, fix it before it's broke. Friends, that's what you do. And that's what you'll see if you watch the videos on the 2009 Hyundai, the 1999 Honda Civic, the Rocket, we call it, and the 07 FJ Cruiser. You'll find out, and also the 2008 Nissan Rogue. They've all had a spring evaluation. What's the purpose of that? Catch things before they break. Catch things before the vehicle breaks down. So if you have a 3-year-old car, are you exempt from that? That's my point. Are you exempt from the vehicle breaking down? So something going wrong? No, you're not. You still have to maintain it. You're out of warranty now. It's 3 years old. Done. Over. Now it's called vehicle ownership. So getting back to you're a mechanic. Yeah, I know how to diagnose and how to fix it. But I have to put my labor in there and I have to buy my own parts. So if I take a day off of working for Car Connection, I'm losing money while I'm fixing my truck. So when do I do it? I do it in the evenings most of the time. And on Mondays, when we're shooting videos, I'll save a specific maintenance or repair, show you how I look at it, and figure whether it's something that needs to be fixed, serviced, or replaced, and then get into it and show you how to do it. If I'm taking hours away from being self-employed and I'm working on the truck during the day, I'm taking money away from the business to fix my vehicle. So I'm spending money labor-wise. I'm hired myself to fix the truck instead of going to work. So that's not an excuse anymore. Yes, I'm a tech and I can do the repair work because I know how. So I guess that's a savings there, but it still doesn't exempt me or any of the vehicles we have from repairs and maintenance. I'm not exempt, and they don't self-heal. So you've got to follow a maintenance plan, and when you do, mileage don't matter, folks. It just doesn't matter. I've said it before. I'm on the back door 400,000 kilometers on the 07 FJ Cruiser, 319,000 on the 99 Honda Civic DX. Those are the high milers. But you know what? They still run like just yesterday, like they just came out of the factory. Does that happen on its own? No. You've got to have a plan, and then you got to implement the plan. So check out our Car Connection fleet maintenance system. It's up on our website. You can read all about it and get a really good understanding how easy it is to use it, as simple as a grocery list. And I really mean that. I've dumbed it right down to a point where anyone, any age, can use it and follow it and stay on course with your vehicle maintenance. All right, we're running short on time here, but we'll get this done. Number 3. Marilyn writes in with question number 3. My air conditioning seems to be working fine. Should I still have it serviced or checked? And the short answer is yes. If you want to avoid very expensive air conditioning repairs, I highly recommend every 2 years a complete evacuation of the AC system. That means sucking out all the old refrigerant out of there. And if the vehicle has what we call a orifice tube, it's a filter screen that we can access when the system's empty and put a new one in. And it's filtering out debris down to like 0.001 microns of dirt. We don't need dirt in all the arteries where the refrigerant travels through. That's not a good idea. And those screens tend to plug up, and then it restricts the flow of the refrigerant, and then your AC system will get to a point where the orifice tube is so restricted that it's hindering the air conditioning system, and that's when stuff breaks. So I just recently shot a video that shows you what can happen if the condenser, which is right up front. So if you're somebody that's, into car racing and you're drafting on the highway because you're in some kind of race every day, I show you what happens to a condenser when you're riding up the butt of a transport truck or the vehicles in front of you every single day with your car. Just to let you know, the condenser is the first thing out front that meets any road debris. So I show that in a video just recently on the FJ Cruiser. Everything's open so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm explaining it all the way. So there are certain services that need to be done in order to keep your vehicle's air conditioning long-term running well, saving you money. Because today, years ago, a cheap repair on an air conditioning system was $500. That's probably 10 to 15 years ago. Today, just times that by 10. Yeah. Because every 10 years, things ripple. So you're probably looking between $2,000 and $3,000 to fix an air conditioning system. If it goes down, if the compressor's gone, then you've got to flush the whole system out because there's shrapnel everywhere inside all the arteries where the refrigerant travels. The orifice tube's going to be plugged solid. We're going to need to blow the system out with cleaner and make sure we get all the particles, metal particles and everything out of the system. Otherwise, we can't fix it. It'll be an ongoing, it's working today, tomorrow it's not. And then we got to tear it all apart. That's when you get into thousands and thousands of dollars in repair. So here's what I do, and I have for years. I am a AC tech, is recommended to all my customers when I had a shop. Every 24 months, we're going to suck that all out, change the orifice tube, Make sure that your cabin filter is replaced. Instead of guessing it's good, we're going to pull it out and put a new one in, because we want full airflow in the cabin so that you get all the cool air that you want, so that you're feeling good by the time you get to work in this hot summer heat. You don't want to be showing up looking like you were dragged through a hedge backwards, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Ladies, you understand it. You want to be comfortable, you want to get to work, and you don't want to be a sopping, sticky, gooey mess with bad hair, because the humidity just wrecked it. And you had to have the windows open in the car. We don't want that to happen, right, ladies? So we can avoid that and keep the air conditioning system working, because basically, folks, it's a refrigerator. That's what it is. How important is your refrigerator at home? Very, right? Especially in the summer. If it goes down, you got to get coolers out and ice and everything. In the winter, you know, you don't want to really putting it all outside. It'll be all frozen solid. So how important is your refrigerator? Of utmost importance. Well, your car has a refrigerator. How important should that be if you do not like to be uncomfortable behind the wheel? Get it serviced. We hook up to it, we check the pressures, and at the same time, then we're going to do a full evacuation and change the orifice tube. If it's accessible, we're going to check all the connections, belts, everything, and make sure that everything is as it should be before we put the system, fill it back up with fresh, clean refrigerant. Check the pressures, check the in-cabin temperature. On average, we want to see, especially on a day like this weekend, we're in the early 70s, can very easily have 38 to 42 degrees coming out the center dash. And that's cold. You know, that's cold enough to hang beef. On a very hot, hazy, humid day, say like high 80s, early into the early 90s with humidity, if we can get a 50 on that, the system's tight and right and it's working well. Because air conditioning means what? It removes moisture from the air. That's all it's doing. It's taking the humidity out of the air. It works exactly the same in your home. It's taking the humidity out of the air and the objects that are in the room where you're standing. And inside the vehicle, all the fabric and plastic and stuff sucks up heat like crazy. And so we got to get it cooled off. And we'll talk about that again, I think, this upcoming week as temperatures are changing. I'll unpack another round of air conditioning repairs, maintenance, and how to use it properly, which is most important. You need to know how to use your vehicle's air conditioning properly to make it last a lot longer without breakdowns. And I can help you do that if you're willing to listen and do, because remember, the do does and the did is done. So we're just about out of time, but that covers 3 fantastic questions. Another trifecta of questions. Well done, you Car Connection, Motormouth Morning Drive, Car Connection Workshop gurus. Say that 10 times fast. I think I'd get hurt. We'll see you Monday morning for another episode of our Motormouth Morning Drive. Come and join us. Learn as much as you can. That's what my mentors told me back when I was an apprentice. Read everything you can. Get into every evening class you can get into. Learn as much as you can from those who are willing to teach, and you will be further ahead than the next guy that's sitting and watching television, drinking cold snacks, and eating some kind of chip of some sort. Whatever. Yeah, we'll park that right there. So thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Larry Tetro and Tony Miele with IG Wealth Management, 50 years of experience as fiduciaries. These guys are 2 of the best in all of Canada. Grab onto their coattails. Grab a 1-hour discovery meeting we call the Hour and a Coffee. Get your answers to your questions from those who have the initial CFP, not advisors, certified financial planning professionals. They understand tax laws, estate planning, getting rid of debt the right way, arranging a mortgage, life insurance, critical illness insurance, and getting your investment money working for you. Hard for you, not you hard for the money. So check in with them, get that booked, get your questions answered, and watch your life change. There's nothing you're going to tell them that they haven't heard before. And that discovery meeting, leave your wallet and purse at home. You're not going to need it. You're absolutely not going to be sold anything. No sales gimmicks, no condemnation, no nothing. Just check in. Let them know I sent you. Work with either one, Tony Miele or Larry Tetro, and let them help you. Let them help you. Your life will absolutely change. So we'll see you in the next one, which will be our Motormouth morning drive, Monday morning, bright and early at 8 o'clock. We'll see you there. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful Victoria Day long weekend kicking off summer 2026. Be safe, drive safe, and watch out for the other guy. All right, and we'll see you right back here. We have a Buy Me a Coffee profile page set up because Skippy told me to do that. It would be a good idea. It's buymeacoffee.com/Motormouth Niall. If you can throw some shekels our way, we would really appreciate it. Whatever you could do to help to support the channel, we would be over the moon and would appreciate it so much. You can put in as much as you like or as little as you like, so Skippy and I can have coffee and snacks when we're shooting videos and working 80 hours all week. We say thank you to all of you ahead of time that see the value in that. So if you're getting value out of the podcast and the YouTube channel, then this would be a great way for you to say thank you, and we would be truly grateful. So no pressure. If you're led to do it, great. If you're not, great. We still love you anyway. We'll see you Monday. Bye for now.